6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister held talks with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi today discussing ways to further expand bilateral relations. Imran Khan has approved a summary to induct 8,000 workers in the Pakistan Railways. The Finance Minister has emphasized the need to enhance exports to overcome the country's external debt. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian forces in their fresh acts of state terrorism martyred 2 more youths in Shupanya district today. In Syria, 43 people have been killed in airstrikes of the US-led coalition planes in Deir ez-Zor province. The British Prime Minister has defended her Brexit deal, saying there will be more divisions if the parliamentarians reject it. In the Abu Dhabi cricket test match, New Zealand have set a victory target of 176 runs for Pakistan. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Imran Khan held a meeting with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and the Deputy Supreme Commander of the United Arab Emirates Armed Forces, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, at the Presidential Palace today. They discussed ways and means to further enhance bilateral relations, as well as important international and regional issues. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, the Finance Minister Asad Umar, Ministers of Energy and Petroleum, Chief of the Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa, and Prime Minister's advisor on commerce were also present during the meeting. Earlier, the Prime Minister Imran Khan was presented a guard of honor upon his arrival at the Presidential Palace. National anthems of both the countries were also played. Prime Minister Imran Khan has approved a summary to induct 8,000 workers in the Pakistan Railways. An official of the Railways Ministry told APP today that the recruitment process of these workers will be initiated shortly. They will be hired in different cadres to improve the efficiency of the Pakistan Railways. He said around 11,000 skilled workers are needed on an emergency basis to improve the performance of the Pakistan Railways. He said the ministry has already hired around 2,000 workers. The Finance Minister Asad Umar has emphasized the need to enhance exports to overcome the country's external debt. Talking to a private news channel, he said when Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf government came into power, the economy was facing a deficit of 800 billion rupees. He said trade can be improved with all the neighboring countries, including Afghanistan, Iran, China, and Saudi Arabia. The minister said Saudi Arabia is taking keen interest in investments in different projects in the Gwadar port. He said the trade volume with Iran is about $1.5 billion that should be enhanced. The finance minister said Pakistan has a lot of investment opportunities in different fields and we will welcome all the countries who want to invest. Replying to a question, Asad Umar said Prime Minister Imran Khan had a very successful visit to China and the Chinese president and the Prime Minister have assured their full support and cooperation in every field, besides showing their complete confidence in the Pakistani leadership. Replying to another question, Asad Umar said discussions are underway with the visiting International Monetary Fund team. The exports of Pakistani petroleum products increased by 94.14% during the first 4 months of the current financial year against the same period last year. According to Pakistan Bureau of Statistics, the petroleum products and coal export rose to $187.55 million in July-October 2018-2019 against the exports worth $96.61 million during the corresponding period previous year. The Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Chaudhry Fawad Hussain, says the government will make no compromise in its drive against corruption. Addressing a workers' convention in Fatehpur in Jhelum today, he said children of the ruling elite get their education in the United Kingdom, while there are no basic facilities for the poor people in this country. Fawad Chaudhry said an across-the-board accountability is the need of the hour, and it will be ensured that no one is above the law. The Pakistan International Airlines has resumed operations on the Muscat route after a gap of over 1 year. PIA spokesperson Mashood Tajwar said today that the decision was taken after anticipating high traffic flow on the route. He said a PIA flight PK229 took off from Lahore for Oman last night, carrying around 141 passengers. The spokesperson said the national flag carrier would operate twice weekly, flights on Saturdays and Sundays. With the introduction of these flights, PIA will have a total of 9 flights to Muscat, with 7 other operating from Peshawar, Turbat, and Gwadar. The chairman, Pakistan People's Party, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, has said Gilgit-Baltistan has always played a vital role in the development and progress of Pakistan. Addressing a gathering in Gilgit this evening, he said his struggle is for the rights of the people. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari said the Pakistan People's Party government had given subsidy on wheat for the benefit of the public, besides initiating big projects like the Karakoram Highway and grant administrative autonomy to the region. This is Radio Pakistan. Iran says it is ready to collaborate with Pakistan in the fight against terrorism by carrying out joint border operations and sharing intelligence. According to Press Television, the Iranian Interior Minister Abdul Raza Rahmani Fazli has appreciated Pakistan's efforts in the recovery of the abducted Iranian border guards. Fazli said the two countries could carry out joint border operations and increase intelligence cooperation. The United States has expressed the hope to cement a peace deal with the Taliban by April next. The American Special Envoy to Afghanistan, Zalmay Khalilzad, told the media in Kabul today that conclusion of the talks would be peace and a successful Afghanistan that does not pose any threats to itself and to the international community. He said he was cautiously optimistic about the peace talks. The Minister for Kashmir Affairs in Gilgit-Baltistan, Ali Amin Gandapur, has condemned the brutal use of force in occupied Kashmir. In a statement today, he said the Indian forces are involved in extrajudicial killings of innocent and unarmed youth of Kashmir. The minister said the Indian forces have become so blind in genocide of Kashmiris that they are killing even 13 to 14 years old children. He said leaders like Sayyid Ali Gilani and Asian Darabi are being imprisoned to suppress the Kashmiri struggle for their inalienable right to self-determination. The minister said sane voices from the world and even from within India are rising in support of the oppressed Kashmiris. The minister said Pakistan will continue to extend all-out support for the rights to self-determination of the Kashmiri people. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian troops and their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 2 more youths in Shupania district today. According to Kashmir Media Service, the youths identified as Nawaz Ahmed Wage and Jawar Ahmed Wani were killed by the troops during a coordinated search operation at Reban in Zanapura area of Shupania district. Thousands of people from near and far off areas thronged the native Reban and Bhatnura areas of the martyrs to participate in the funeral prayers. The youth were buried amid high-pitched pro-freedom and anti-India slogans. The British Prime Minister Theresa May says the next 7 days in the Brexit process will be critical for the country's future. In an interview, she said Britain is going through a critical phase and political crises amid Brexit. Commenting on speculations regarding negotiations on Brexit's draft, she said the deal has no alternative, and if rejected, it would mean more divisions, more uncertainty, and a failure to deliver on the vote of the British people. The Pakistan Maritime Security Agency has arrested 12 Indian fishermen for illegally fishing inside the Pakistan marine limits. According to the agency's spokesperson, 2 boats of the fishermen were also confiscated. The fishermen have been handed over to the docks police for further legal proceedings. In Syria, the government forces have retaken the control of the last southern holdout of Daesh militants in Tulul al-Safa region. The state news agency Sana reported that the government forces are now combing the area for any remaining militants. In India, 3 people were killed and 15 others injured in a blast at a religious gathering in Amritsar today. According to local police, 2 armed men on a motorcycle forced their way into a building and threw a hand grenade at the crowd where the Nirankari spiritual group was holding a meeting. And now cricket. On the third day of the Abu Dhabi cricket test match against New Zealand, Pakistan in the second innings were 24 runs without loss of any wicket a short while ago. Earlier, New Zealand were all out for 249 runs in the second innings, setting Pakistan a victory target of 176 runs to win the test match. And finally, the weather. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.